Hello and welcome to Wings of Eagles broadcast. I'm Don Steiner. We're talking about the parables in the Bible, and now we're going through parables of Christ's return. And this last parable is the parable of the 10 virgins, which is a very well-known parable. If you're a believer, you've heard the parable of the 10 virgins over and over. We're going to jump in and unpack this and just see exactly what is relevant to what Jesus said about these 10 virgins and life today, and how we're supposed to use that parallel to help walk out our Christian life. So join with me. Let's jump in. It's Matthew chapter 25. It's starting in verse 1. It says, "Then the kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Now 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps." So I'm going to give you 4 principles here on what you should do in the end times to make yourself ready for the kingdom of heaven. This is what Jesus was talking about here. This is an end time parable. He's talking about 5 virgins who were wise and 5 virgins who were foolish. All 10 virgins were looking for the return, or looking for the coming of the bridegroom. They were all waiting for the bridegroom. This means that the 5 foolish were actually believers. They believed that the bridegroom was coming, and they joined the progression. They joined the party. They came there to meet the bridegroom. And Jesus is saying in this that there are people in the kingdom of heaven who believe Jesus, believe in Jesus, believe in God, and are actually believing that they're part of the kingdom of heaven. However, Jesus is very clear. 5 were wise and prepared themselves for the whole duration of the return of the bridegroom, which is a picture of the return of Jesus. So right now, Jesus has gone away. We are the bride. He is the bridegroom. And we are waiting on his return, where he will rapture the church out of this earth and leave evil to face the wrath of God. And evil means people who choose to not follow God. And it is a choice they make. They don't just blindly not, because the gospel will be preached in all the nation as a witness to all people before the end comes. Matthew 24:14. So it will be a choice people make. And as much evil is going on in the world today, and flesh and self and what about me and all this stuff, it will be easy to say, forget that Christianity stuff, forget that religion stuff. I don't want any part of it. And so the first point that we need to understand that the 5 wise virgins did is they prepared themselves. They brought their lamps with them and they prepared themselves. I believe that Jesus is saying to us that we need to prepare ourselves too, but we don't prepare ourselves like they did in here. What Jesus is saying about preparedness is that we put on a spiritual mind. We begin to think spiritual things. We meditate and let our mind think about godly spiritual things. You know, when I'm in my world and in my own zone and in life and going out here and there, there's times that thoughts come to our head and in our mind, and we have to change our thoughts to think spiritual things. We have to think, I don't want to think about that. I'm not going to dwell on that. Everything in my life has a spiritual content. So everything I do, I think spiritually. Everything I do, I have to think about the kingdom of heaven. How does this fit into the kingdom of heaven? How do I walk in the kingdom of heaven? Now, this is 24/7. This is every day of your life, every minute of your life. You have to continually put on the mind of Christ and think about things about God. You have to take every thought captive. Whatever thought it is, negative thought, so-and-so's thinking negative about me, whatever it is, you take that thought captive and you say, no, I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to believe that lie. You have somebody that cusses you out, or somebody flips you off, driving down the road because whatever. You have to realize that they live with this kind of anger in their life. Now, you may have done something wrong. You may have pulled in and cut somebody off or something. But then you get that feeling that comes when they're angry at you, or your boss at work, is the kind of guy that yells and screams, or the kind of woman that yells and screams and cuts you up and says things negative things, co-workers, family, friends, people like that, talk negative. You have to take every thought captive that you are a child of God and that you have a redemption story waiting for you. Jesus is coming for us. We must wait. We must be patient. We must stand strong in the force of evil. That's what this is talking about here. And so let's read verse 5. But the bridegroom was delayed, and they all slumber and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, Behold, the bridegroom is coming, go out and meet him. Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish ones said to the wise, Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered and said, No, lest there not be enough for us and you, but go to those who sell and buy for yourself. So Jesus is now saying that there's this period of time, which I believe we're now in. It's the period of time between the time Jesus left the earth and ascended to heaven and his soon coming return. Yeah, it's been 2,000 years, so it wasn't soon for them, but for us, we are getting to that point, that in time, that I believe Jesus is going to return soon. You say, well, how do you figure that out? Well, go back and look at our Revelation videos, look at our other videos where we actually talk about it. The 7 seals, there's videos on that. Go look at all those videos. We are in the last days, my friend. Evil is showing its face now, where there's no mask on evil. They've opened up the pit, and it is the evil of the earth is pouring out everywhere. And so we need to understand that we're also in that technology time frame, that everything Jesus talked about, the 2 witnesses in the street will be able to be seen all over the world. We're in that technology time frame where that can easily happen. And so what is he saying with this? The hardest part is this waiting, this expectation, this patiently waiting. Because while we wait, our mind wants to run. Our mind wants to go do other things. And this is what the concept here is. They wait, they all fell asleep. But even in the sleep, the 5 wise virgins were ready. So when the time came, they could refill their lamps with oil and continue on to follow the bridegroom, where the foolish virgins couldn't because they weren't ready. See, when our mind starts playing games with us, when we're in this waiting period, our mind wants to take over. It wants to take things in its own hands. It wants to make things happen. It wants to go out and do it ourselves. And Jesus is saying, no, wait on me. Wait on me. Be patient. Patiently waiting is a gift. It's a virtue that comes from trusting Jesus Christ with everything in your life. I am waiting on you, Jesus. When he says it's time to move, we move. When the call comes, we're ready to go. But until then, we are patiently waiting, taking every thought captive. And God is asking us for this patiently waiting process, for us to just rely on him. He's asking us in this time, trust me, believe me, walk with me. Don't walk away. Don't let your mind get wandered. Don't let somebody come into your life and say, hey, come with me, come play with me, come do this, come here, come there. Keep your mind focused on the things of the kingdom of heaven. And when you do, you will be waiting patiently. Listen, nothing is out of Jesus' control. God is in control of this earth. He's not left us. He's not forgot about us. He is in control. And when you understand the love of God and how much it's poured out for you, and you grasp this concept, it's not difficult to patiently wait, because I trust that Jesus Christ is in control of everything. And I walk with that. And you say, well, what about all the evil and all the stuff in the world? That's man's choice. That's man's choice. Mankind have chosen to do that. And so then jump in with me. We're going to read verse number 10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins also came, saying, Lord, open to us. But assuredly, he answered, I say to you, I do not know you. Watch, therefore, for you know neither the day or the hour in which the Son of Man is going to return. So the third principle is that you have to be willing to pay the price. And that price tag is that willing to give up whatever it is to forsake the lusts of this world, the pride of life, the things that try and pull us, the love of money. Forsake all that. That's paying the price. And it is a spiritual price that we have to pay. It's not money price. It's a spiritual price. It's a sacrifice that we have to make. And God is asking us to make that sacrifice. And then he says this last thing. He says, watch therefore, for you know neither the day or the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. That means desire. The last point here is desire it. Desire the kingdom of heaven more than life itself. Walk with Him. Walk with Jesus. Walk in the light. Walk in the light while you have the chance. Walk with Him and say no to all of these things that are going on in the earth. So these virgins, these 5 virgins were foolish, 5 were wise. The wise paid the price to wait patiently on Jesus Christ. Right now, friends, we are in that hardest part, and that is the waiting when evil is pressing on every hand. You can't go on Instagram or Twitter or on Facebook or TikTok and not see all kinds of stuff out there. The world is dishing out to you right and left. I mean, it's in your hand. You carry it with you. Everybody in the world has access now to smartphones, and they're carrying it. We have 2.5 billion people on Facebook, or Meta, what they call it now. And so this whole thing is unfolding right before our eyes. My friend, the question is, what are you doing with it? How are you walking? It's time to consecrate ourselves to Jesus Christ, to run to Him and say, well, whatever it takes, Lord, I will walk with you. Whatever it takes, I will follow you and none other. And that's what Jesus is asking of us today. Follow me, trust me, walk with me. Don't look to the right or to the left. Follow the narrow path that leads to Jesus, the narrow path that leads to God. It's the most incredible path. And friends, it's the best path. It's the best way to go. The world has nothing to offer you except evil, except heartache, except hurt and pain. You realize everything that you're striving to get in the world is just creating that much more animosity and strife and stuff in your life. Jesus says, come, wait patiently on me, and I will be there for you. I will come, I will return, and I will give you a whole nother life for eternity, a life to enjoy, a life to be with Him. That's what we look forward to. That's our hope. That's the hope of this calling. And so, my friends, if this message means something to you, share it with somebody. And if you're struggling in any area right now with this process in your life, let me pray for you. Jesus, I thank you for my brothers and sisters. I reach out to them right now by the Spirit of God. And I thank you, Father, that you're doing an incredible work in their life. I speak over them right now that your love, your joy, your peace, your patience, your goodness, kindness, mercy, flood their life in every area. And Father, the difficult areas of their life, I thank you that you are faithful, that you will see them through. You'll see them through in every area. We thank you for it, Lord. Jesus, we love you. God bless you, my friend. We'll see you in the next video.